Hey guys, it's me, Maddie, and today I just wanted to take a step back and kind of walk you through the best and most efficient way to get Stellar Jade, seeing as 3.1 is quickly approaching. And of course, people are like, oh, I want to get so-and-so, I want to get Mighty, or you want to get Treebios, or whoever, even the 4-star Anaxa, whoever. But your problem is that you're out of Jade, and you don't know where to get any. My advice differs depending on how much of the game you've played, how far you are in the game, and I will say that this is a general consensus for any skill level. I'm gonna walk you through how you can not only get Jade, but save it for the upcoming update. Now, for starters, I would like to mention that if we go to the wish menu, I don't have any Jade, and that's because I was saving my pulls for Boot Hill, and I got my Boot Hill. But then on top of that, I was just messing around and I pulled on Aglaea's banner, and she happened to stumble into my account after 14 pity. So you know what? It can't be helped. But this is a good starting point actually, because I'm pretty much starting from ground zero. And this helps me explain things further because I don't really have much to work with in the first place. So for starters, you have your daily training, and as you can see, I haven't collected mine, but I did do all of it. So we're gonna collect all of that. Of course, this is one way to easily get 60 Jade a day, and it doesn't take long because it gives you different options of which you want to choose from in order to get up to that 500 point mark. For example, if you can't dispatch your assignments because they're already running, then you can consume 120 Trailblaze power, which if you go to any of the calyxes, that's 2 full 6 cycles, which takes no time whatsoever, especially since you have the autoplay feature. Or Cavern of Corrosion, I believe that is 3... Not 3. Well, actually, is it 3 runs? I believe Cavern of Corrosions is 40. Yeah. Okay, I was right. So you could do 3 runs of the Cavern of Corrosion, or you could do 4 runs of Stagnant Shadow, or you can do 3 runs of your weekly bosses, and then pick anything else you want to work from. You could also do an ornament extraction. Either way, I think it's fairly easy to consume 120 Trailblaze power, so there's that. Back to what I was saying though. Of course, you also get 100 points just for logging into the game, which is why it's definitely worth it to, if not play every day, play at least every other day, so that, you know, you're still being consistent and you have the chance to save up enough Jade for what you're trying to accomplish. In trying to consume 120 Trailblaze power, you could easily defeat a total of 20 enemies, and that'll grant you another 100. So right there, that's already 400 points. Now, again, another easy one is obtaining victory in combat with a support character, because this all traces back to consuming 120 Trailblaze power, in which just use one of your friend's supports. Should make it easier, faster, and knock off another one of the tasks, and that could easily get you up to 500. Now, of course, every day the 100 point values, or all of them really, except for the 500 ones, they change depending on, they just change, right? They're not always the same. And that's fine because some of them are consistent, the other ones aren't. But whatever may be the case, it's still fairly easy to get them done, and it'll only take you about like 5 to 10 minutes. Now, moving on, that is an easy way to get 60 jade right there. The next is your nameless honor. So, as you can see, I'm level 59 and I haven't bought any levels. I actually did get the complete battle pass, but I didn't buy the additional 10 levels that came with it because I'm like, that's pointless. I was already at level 50 when I bought it, so I was like, why not? So, as you can see, you have dailies, you have weeklies, and you have periods, because the Nameless Honor Battle Pass period only lasts for as long as a singular update patch, I believe, which is approximately a month's worth of time. And so the easiest way to get jade from this is, of course, doing the dailies, but also doing the period missions, because they offer the highest amount, and usually they're connected to the limited events that are going on. And so if we go over here to the travel log, which is where all the limited events are listed and you can find them, you'll see that the Enscrolled Crepusculum is going on. It's ending soon, but it was going on. And I think, oh, there it is. The Hypogeum Enigma was also going on. And if you are familiar with Honkai Star Rail, you'll know that they usually have 2 limited events running simultaneously for each patch. If you're new to the game, hi, welcome. They have 2 limited events typically running at a time during each patch, which is a easy opportunity to earn Stellar Jade. The only issue that may come with this one is that it used to be quest locked, and it used to be really hard to, unlock them if you were behind in the game. However, I think as of 2.5, I think they made it so that you're able to do the limited events without actually having done the main quest, which is perfect if you're trying to get more jade. And so, again, another tip is that I highly recommend doing the limited events, even if they seem like super time consuming. They can be. They also sometimes aren't. There's a little trade-off. You gotta work towards getting the jade if you wanna, pull for your fave. That wasn't supposed to rhyme, guys. I'm sorry. You can use limited events in order to get jade. You can do your dailies. That gives you a guaranteed 60 every day. And so if you do the math, you do 60 every day of the week, you'll easily get 420 jade by the end of the week, which is pretty good. And if you take that and do that like every week for the patch, because again, like I said, each patch lasts for a month, that's what, upwards of close to 1,000 jade that you get, which is pretty good, especially if you don't spend it on anything. And yeah, so moving on, next thing you can do is simply explore. Now, if you're like me and you get to the new part of the game, you finally play the update, and you're like, wow, I don't feel like exploring right now, I'm just going to play the story and figure the rest out later. Then you're in luck, because there's so much exploration for you to do. as you can see, this is the map of Anforius. I'm still missing some stuff. And by some, I mean one. I'm just missing one thing. But everything else, as you can see, I've collected every single chest that can be collected across every single place on this map. Planet? Place? I don't know what to call it. I'm sorry. But yeah, exploration helps a lot in terms of getting jade. And of course, you get jade by opening chest. But one of the more fun aspects of exploration is getting achievements now. When you explore, you're more likely to get achievements because, you know, exploration leads you to just go wander and do random stuff. And this game rewards you for doing random stuff, which I highly encourage. Some of the achievements are actually kind of fun. And some of the interactions are even funnier, so FYI. Anyway, yeah, when you explore, you have the chance of discovering something that will lead you to an achievement. And achievements add up. Sometimes they're worth 10 jade, sometimes they're worth 5. Most of the time they're worth 5. They are ranked gold, silver, and bronze. And so I'm sure a gold achievement, which you probably won't really get from exploring, but other stuff is worth probably what, 15 or 20 jade? I don't know. I'm just making stuff up though. Maybe. But yeah, I highly recommend exploring. Though, if you don't have time for that, at the bare minimum, after you do your dailies, what I recommend doing is taking a look at your adventure missions. They don't take that long. I say they take up to like 30-ish, 45 minutes, depending on what it is. Depending on how much dialogue you skipped, you might be done in 20 to 30 minutes. But they're honestly not that long, and they're very rewarding sometimes. They do consistently give you jade, but again, depending on the length of the quest, it'll give you more than others. For example, this is a quest from Penacony, and it's a clockwork quest, and it's worth 10 Stellar Jade. However, this other Penacony quest, the Dream Song quest, is worth 40 jade and a lot more stuff. So obviously it varies what you'll get and how much you'll get, but I think like taking the time out to do at least one venture mission a day will give you some jade, like a pretty good amount of jade, especially if you're doing it every day consistently. And if you run out of adventure missions to do, don't worry. There's other stuff you can do, which is really only for people that have the time to do it, because I will say it does take a while. And that is the simulated or divergent universe. So, as you can see, you get points for doing it weekly and maxing out the weekly points. And since they're double right now, it's very easy to max them out. I think you only really need like 2 runs, I'm pretty sure. But the more points you get, the more they add up to your synchronicity level. And that offers you a lot of stuff. Like, as you see, level 55, you can get 120 jade. Level 60, you can get 100. Every 5 levels, it gives you jade. Which is, well, except for here. Except for that. We don't talk about that, though. But it did give me 120 at level 45. So, you see, I'm still right. But, the only reason I don't recommend doing this unless you have time to do it is because it does take a lot of time out of your day. Doing the divergent or simulated universe usually takes between 45 to an hour. And that's if you don't take any breaks, you just go straight through. Of course, sometimes, I will say, sometimes you can make your runs faster depending on the choices you make in the run. So if you do only occurrences, only things that don't require combat, then yeah, you'll probably be done in like 30 minutes. But there's no guarantee that you'll win doing that, so that's why I say that like a good average run guaranteeing you success will probably end up taking 45 to 60 minutes. But if you have the time to do that, go for it. I don't recommend it, honestly, because I understand that a lot of you are probably on a time crunch. So just stick to like the small max 30-minute task and you'll be good. However, I will say in the long run, doing Divergent or Simulated Universe does yield pretty good rewards, because as you go through it and do more runs, you do get the chance to unlock more stuff. And the more stuff that you unlock, the more the game rewards you. And so you will get Stellar Jade in return for achieving certain things in the simulated universe. And so with that, I would probably recommend doing either Simulated or Divergent Universe at least once or twice a week. No more than that, because it kind of... I think the repetition would really start to drag you down. I know it does for me, and it is really time consuming, especially when you like pay attention to what you're doing and you want the best possible results and outcome. It can get a little tiresome and really long and drawn out. So, like I said, maybe once or twice a week, but probably no more than that. Unless you are an advanced and skilled player, then you know what you're doing. Go for it. Anyway, next tip for being free to play and having Jade and saving your Jade, emphasis on saving your Jade, is actually leaving it in the Jade format. See, part of the problem that comes with wanting to spend it is that you see it in the form of Star Rail passes, and that's like, oh, you know what? I can use those. I can do single pulls and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure it's a psychological thing. But when you see it in the form of Stellar Jade, you look at it and you're like, I can't really tell how many passes that is because I don't feel like doing math. At least that's how it is for me. So I recommend leaving it in Stellar Jade format because you know by default that it does take 1600 Stellar Jade to pull. However, anything under that, anything over that, you're not really too sure. So your best bet would be to leave it the way that it is and let it build up. Because then, like I said, the whole psychological thing, when you see that the number is super big, you're like, whoa, I have so many pulls. But I don't know how many yet, so I'm just gonna wait and see. And then finally, when it's time for you to pull for whoever you want to pull for, and you convert all that Jade into passes, you'll see just how many pulls you have. And of course, it's like a whole satisfaction and reward system thing, but it does help even the littlest bit for saving your pulls. Anyway, as a review of everything I went over, daily, you should focus on completing your daily training and getting those 60 Stellar Jade every day. After that, you should definitely focus on doing at least one adventure mission every time you log on, because again, they don't take too long, and even though it's not a significant amount of Jade, it does give you Jade nonetheless, which is better than a lot of things can do in this game. After that, you should definitely focus on, and if you haven't done them already, the limited events, because as you can see, they become archived in the conventional memoir, so you're easily able to access them whenever. However, when you do them at the time that they're out, that does offer you a lot more rewards. So I highly recommend doing that, and they don't take that much time at all. Especially ones that are more combat oriented. All you really have to do is just go do a little light exploration, which just means taking a few steps, skipping a few dialogue, and unlocking the location, and then you're in there. And that's what you have to do for most of them. Even the Hypogeum Enigma, that one was pretty easy because it just wanted you to do the puzzles scattered around Amphorius over again, which you can do. It doesn't take much time at all. If you're not that much into puzzles, then grab a friend that can help you with puzzles, though I promise they are not too terribly difficult. And lastly, if you have the time to do it, I highly recommend doing Divergent or Simulated Universe at least once or twice a week, because the awarded Stellar Jade does add up and it does give you a lot. And overall, it just gives you a lot of rewards in general. So I highly recommend doing that. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know if you want to see any other guides or whatnot, because, you know, I can give advice as I've been playing this game for almost 2 years now. Yeah, this is the free-to-play experience, and while you might be like, hey, didn't you admit that in one of your previous videos you spent money on the gacha? And while that may be true, for the most part, I have not spent any money on this game. That was a one-time thing, guys, I promise. But no, seriously, I haven't spent any real money to actually get Jade to pull for any characters. And I think the irony about that is the one time I did, I didn't actually get the character that I wanted. So it was kind of a one-time thing, and then I got the memo that I should not do it ever again. So yeah, except for that experience, I am free to play. And all the characters that I do have been a result of me saving my Jade and working tirelessly to complete the main quest, all the side quests, the companion quests, and all those, just to get the Jade I need. So yeah, as you can see, I have 48 characters. Achievements, I can show you guys just how much I've been playing the game. I have 706 achievements. I play a lot. I do a lot of exploration, and I'm saying all of this stuff to you guys just so you like understand that is super important if you want to pull for the characters that you really want. And you literally don't need to spend any money whatsoever. It's not easy, but it's honest work, and it will save you some time and money. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!